stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the door. Stay clear of the door. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA.
Welcome aboard the Morning Monorail podcast. This is, just trying something new. Might as well. We just have a few of these left. This is Justin Monorail. And laughing at my ridiculousness is my friend and yours, Landon the Dawsdone. Look, Landon, welcome to the podcast.
Glad to be here, and I love the fact that we're keeping that take. I thought for sure we were going to shut it down, take it from the top, but bravo, senioritis has set in. Jay is out of F's to give, and I am here for it.
You know what I think happened? I felt like I said Morning Monorail weird, and I was like, well, if I'm saying things weird, I might as well just embrace the weirdness.
Swing for the fences, baby. Yeah. I respect it.
And that is what happened. Welcome, everyone. This is episode number 168 of the Morning Monorail. It's August 16th, 2021. And that is true. What I said before, I wasn't lying. We got 3 of these shows to go. Senioritis, it's here. It is here in full effect. No editing. So, Landon, please edit yourself as we go forward here today.
Man, you should have told me that before I drank 5 whiskeys since I got up this morning.
Well, do your best. That's all I can ask. Sounds
6
like
now,
an empty cup.
In my Bullet Frontier whiskey mug.
I like that mug.
Oh, it's a solid mug. I mean, I know showing stuff on a webcam, totally great for an audio podcast, but it's a strong mug. I get a lot of compliments for it at work.
Yeah, it is very cool.
And also, my coworkers, knowing me, they're like, okay, there's like a 50-50 shot that's coffee or whiskey because it's Landon.
It could be both.
Sometimes it is. No, it's not. No, it's not.
This is for entertainment purposes only. Please.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Please do not try this at home. We are trained professionals.
Yes. Or we pretend to be anyway.
It's okay. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. We're covered, dude.
Okay. Well, I do want to welcome all of our friends back for another week of the Morning Monorail podcast. Last week, we ended the show with... We were just in the best of spirits and nothing but positivity as we talked about the Galactic Starcruiser.
So much yelling.
I wanted to respond to the fact we got a little bit of feedback, a couple of responses to that. And,
oh, God.
And it's all fine. No, it's all fine. It's all fine.
Okay, all right. I was about to say, yeah, all right. Who do I have to continue to yell at now?
No, first of all, I do want to give a shout out to Tom and Michelle from Hyperion Adventures Podcast. Tom actually confirmed with me when we were talking about the Magic Key for Disneyland that, yes, one of the biggest differences in those passes is blackout dates. That top level Magic Key Pass virtually has no blackout dates, but they go up significantly as you go down in tiers, is what he told me. So we were correct about that. But he, as well as a few others, pointed out to me this true statement, which is, as we were talking about the Galactic Starcruiser, we were going pretty hard on the itinerary, and he mentioned that, keep in mind, you can opt into as many or as few of those experiences as you want to, and you're not just locked in, which I actually did know. But here's the problem: if you decide not to opt in to all the activities, number one, do you feel like you're getting your money's worth? Because you are spending a pretty penny, and we were talking entry level prices at the lowest level cabin on the Starcruiser. But also, what do you do when you're not doing that? Because if you're not going to opt into the activities, as we mentioned, there's not like a spa, there's not a pool area.
No casino.
No
which,
casino.
After you pointed that out last week, it's like, how is there no casino?
I would imagine it's not like a real cruise where you can go and just get food at any time of the day nonstop. I mean, it doesn't seem that way to me. Like unlimited just buffets all around. Like that doesn't seem to be the case. So I stand firmly by what I was saying in the previous episode, regardless of whether or not you have to do those things.
I mean, like, I appreciate that they're not locking you into an itinerary, but at the same time, kind of to echo what you said, are you really going to feel like you're going to get your bang for your buck if you're just, hanging out, doing nothing? Now, on the flip side, if you just flat out hate the idea of building a model of a Star Cruiser, I don't want you to be locked into doing something that you hate, but at the same time, you're just paying to sit around at that point.
Yeah. So I imagine, and we're going to talk a little bit later about the Disney Genie app, I imagine that it's going to work in a similar way in that you're going to have a menu of experiences. You pick from that menu, here are the things I want to do, and then it generates your itinerary before you get there, based on the things that you want to do. That's all fine. It's still not what I'm looking for.
Especially at that price point.
Yeah. I kind of think that the Galactic Starcruiser, and as I was talking through some of these things with some of our friends on Patreon, on the Patreon Discord, I think the problem is the Galactic Starcruiser doesn't know what it wants to be. And what I mean by that is you are paying deluxe luxury experience prices for something that seems like a day camp.
Interesting. And when you lay it out like that, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, like filet mignon price point for maybe hamburger helper activities.
Yeah. You're going to go build some boondoggle keychains. Is that really what you want to be doing when you're paying those prices?
Exactly. And not knocking hamburger helper, not knocking boondoggle keychains, but when you're paying for a premium experience, okay, yeah, you get to go build your boondoggle keychains in a galaxy far, far away, and it's fully immersive and it's unique, but at the same time, it's still a lot of money.
Right. So, Landon and I have a little teaser for you. We have a bonus episode we're going to be recording today. And that bonus episode is going to be all about how we would design our very own Galactic Starcruiser experience.
Spoiler alert, a whole lot of nudity.
Yeah. That's Landon's Galactic Starcruiser.
Okay, I'm only half kidding.
It's a nudie ship.
It's not that much nudity.
But I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for improvement. I have some very specific ideas, which some of them maybe we already talked about last week, but I've got some additional things that I'm going to be bringing to the table. All of that will be available as a bonus episode for our Patreons to listen to. And I think maybe down the road, as we're kind of wrapping things up here, I've been thinking about this a little bit. Maybe in a month or like 6 weeks or something, I'll slowly release those bonus episodes that we recorded for the Patreon family. Later on, like on the YouTube or something.
That seems fair. Yeah. Not like you said, down the road, not immediately. We still want to give our lovely patrons, the feeling that they got their bang for their buck, so to speak. So I like that idea.
Yeah. So something to look forward to and keep you connected to the morning monorail down the road. But
because we all know whenever I take over this thing, Captain Poochie is going to drive everybody off.
No.
So it's going to be something to remember the good times, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not true.
I don't know.
But for now, let's get back to what we do best, and that is talking Disney news for our monorail family. Got a few articles I wanted to get to today, but the first one, I think this is just really interesting. I want to start with the construction that's been going on with the Magic Kingdom ferry boat, because I find this odd, and I think it's kind of fun to play this speculation game when it comes to Magic Kingdom ferry boats. There has been some weird construction that's happening on the pier at both the Magic Kingdom and at the TTC, and they've been modifying those ferry boats that transport you, for those of you who are like not cool enough to ride the monorail and you want to ride the ferry boat. you may have noticed that there's some things that are happening to these boats. And based on some speculation and some pictures and a little detailed deep dive that WDWMagic.com has done, what they think is happening is that they are preparing the docks and the boats to be able to load guests not only on the first level. If you previously rode the Magic Kingdom ferry, you may know you step on the first level and then you can go up some stairs and be on the second level. But it's almost like they're preparing the piers or the docks and the boats to be able to load people directly onto the second floor and the first floor. I guess that makes it more efficient.
What do you mean you guess that makes it more efficient? You've ridden those ferry boats. It's like a freaking cattle call. Everybody going into one gate, getting on the boat. You make several laps looking for a place where you and your family can not sit, stand comfortably. If they're loading half the boat on top, half the boat on bottom, that's going to cut out that initial load time, and maybe more importantly, especially if it's at the end of the night after you've stayed to watch the fireworks, you and your family, you're just dog tired, it's going to make exiting that much smoother too. I love this idea.
Yeah, well, you make some great points there, because really the load time is extremely slow. It seems like once those boats get to the dock, it takes a very long time for them to get fully loaded up and then off to their destination. So yeah, I mean, essentially, if this could cut that time in half, that's welcome.
And I'll be honest, like, I'm surprised it took Disney this long to come up with this concept, because after thinking about being able to load on top and bottom, it's like, this feels like a no-brainer. Why hasn't this been done beforehand? I am 1,000% on board with these renovations. Now, of course, we are still Team Monorail, and Monorail is my preferred method to get to the most magical place on Earth. But at the same time, I've ridden those boats. Mm-hmm. You've ridden those boats, Jay. You've ridden those boats, the lovely listener. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, that bottleneck getting on and then getting off of the boat. Like, hope you don't have a claustrophobic issue, because that can induce and trigger that specific thing. So I love anything that can get rid of that bottlenecking.
Yeah. You know, another thing about this is, I bet what it's going to do is it will allow for handicap access to the second level, because I bet they're going to be ramps. I would assume that you'll be going up, like, and then the other thing I was going to mention is, if you've ever ridden on the top level of those ferries, the stairs going up and down, like between the first and second level, they're a little bit steep, but they're also kind of slick if they get wet.
Ooh, yeah. So, and also there are people that inexplicably will sit on them, even though every step says, do not sit here, do not sit here, do not sit here.
Yeah, that's true too. So, yeah, it's cool. I like this kind of thing, because I think that you're right. It's going to make it more efficient, but also it's going to be really interesting to see how it works once they get it totally done. And Disney hasn't made any kind of announcement about this. It's just doing it.
Wildly speculating like we normally do.
Yeah. They've just moved forward with some modifications and some construction, but based on everything that I'm looking at, it seems like that's exactly what they're doing. So,
well, and looking at these construction pictures, I think you described it as weird construction. That's a very apt way to put it. But yes, looking at the pictures and what we just talked about, putting two and two together, I can definitely see this being four, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Very, very good. So anyway, we're not starting with monorail news, but ferry news is good. Now, the next thing I need is Disney to announce that they're going to be upgrading the monorail fleet, and then all will be well with the world.
No kidding. I mean, like we're clearly Team Monorail, but dang, could definitely be a little bit better.
Yeah, but I'm holding out hope. I mean, do you remember? I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 D23 expos ago where they started hinting at the fact that they were going to replace the monorail fleet, and then that just went away.
Yes, I vividly remember Joe Ruddy says, "I swear to you, I will fix the monorail fleet." Wait, no, that was another thing. My bad.
No, it wasn't Joe Rody, but it was an Imagineer who basically said they were going to do it, and it just...
I mean, it's such an efficient mode of transportation, and it's so iconic with just Disney as a whole, particularly at Walt Disney World. Going not only to the parks, going through the resorts. I mean, like that is... Disney in a nutshell. Like it's quintessential Disney. There we go. Yeah, that's the word I was looking
I agree.
for.
And we have people who, when we did our FastPass standby snack break, besmirched the monorail, and especially people who live in places with maybe mass transit of their own because they're so fancy and they're like, what's the big deal? I'll tell you what's the big deal. These are magical monorails.
Yeah.
And they take you to the most magical place on earth, and we do not besmirch them in this dojo.
And those besmirchers were buried under the penalty box and have yet to be seen since. We probably should let them out when we shut the monorail.
Yeah,
down,
that's
right?
probably true.
Okay, all right. Put that on your list of things to do, like 3/4 of the way down, but still put it on your list.
I'll try not to forget them.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, for now, we are waiting for that news on the monorail. But one thing we no longer have to wait for is an announcement about when Space 220 is going to open in Epcot.
Oh, buddy,
Yes.
it is closer than I think any of us realized.
Yes, I'm so excited. Well, once again, Zach Ridley broke this news on his Instagram.
No. Zach Ridley diddly do. That's what we call him on this podcast.
But he did indeed share this on his Instagram, probably the same day that the Parks blog shared it as well. But we now know that Space 220 will be lifting off at Epcot in mid-September. So no hard, fast, actual date, but we do know it's happening, and it's going to happen prior to the 50th anniversary. So it give them a couple of weeks to work out some details.
Are you surprised that they didn't do it for the 50th, or do you think they wanted to get the kinks out of the way in time for the 50th? That's why it's getting a quote-unquote mid-September launch.
That's my guess. They're going to try to, work through all of the, logistics of the seating, how's the kitchen working, how's all this stuff how are we getting, is the space elevator an efficient form of transportation to get people into Space 220 and all that sort of thing. So
maybe Jeff Bezos and all these other billionaires will realize they didn't need to, spend their own millions of dollars to get a space shuttle. They could have just used a space elevator.
I mean,
dummies.
You would think those big brains would have figured that out, but Disney had to do it for them. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Landon, did you actually see the videos on Zach Ridley Diddly Doo's Instagram where he was walking through the restaurant? Did you check it out?
No, I did not. But but part of that was part a decision I made because, like we've talked about on this podcast before, me and you, multi-time Space Camp alumnus, don't want to brag, but here we are. So I'm on board with anything space. Yeah. So part of me wants to experience it cold.
Okay.
Part of me wants to enjoy it, seeing it for the first time with my eyes, be like, okay, this is legit. Because even the stills that they put out, I guess those were artist renditions. Mm-hmm. I'm on board, so I look forward to seeing what actually happens. And the best part is it's opening mid-September, which means I will be able to, fingers crossed, enjoy it when me and the Madre are down in October. So
how cool would that be?
Oh, that would be super awesome. Though I feel like that's going to be a very hotly ticketed
sure.
ADR.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily look like it's a huge dining room either.
No. Well, again, I'm just basing this off artist renditions. So you might have seen the actual thing and be like, okay, this thing can seat like 14 people.
It's a little more. It's no beaches and cream, but it also
which can in fact only seat 14 people.
But it also doesn't look like Be Our Guest. I mean, if you've ever been to Be Our Guest, like they've got a lot of capacity, which they need, and it fills up. It's somewhere in between there, I think. And I will say, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you at all because I know you want to experience it when you get there. I have one little concern, and that is, will it be as cool to eat there if you're not right next to one of the space windows? Like, if you're kind of seated a little further away, maybe up on the little platform a little bit, kind of away from a window, does it take away from the experience kind of similar to my feeling about Coral Reef?
Yeah. I was about to ask that.
Yeah. And that's my only concern right now. And I'm not saying that's true because I haven't been there. Just asking the question. I got all my negativity out last week. I'm positive about Space 220. I'm going to love that place. The only thing I wish the bar had more seating, like, because I think it's like a 14-person bar or something. But 14 people at the bar doesn't seem like it's going to be enough.
Yeah, no. Especially with the hype that's been built around this, and just the concept of it is really rad. Yeah. So I know I'm not the only person excited for this. I know you're not the only person excited for this. So I feel like, again, this is going to be a highly contested, highly coveted spot to eat in what is already a pretty daggone good park to go eat in Epcot.
I'm a little bit surprised by this, though. They are doing, for lunch, they're going to have a 2-course prefix menu, and then for dinner, a 3-course prefix menu. I didn't know they were going that style, but hey, that's what Be Our Guest does, so interesting I made that connection.
Well, as a picky eater, that kind of raises the cockles on the back of my neck. I don't know if that's where cockles are, but it definitely raises them.
If you're going to raise cockles, they might as well be on the back of your neck.
Aren't cockles generally in the heart?
The heart.
Okay, all right. Well, my neck cockles are being raised because I am a picky eater. Don't like onions, don't like pickles. I'm allergic to tomatoes, so
Well, you'll have options. And I'm sure if there's things on there, you'll be able to tell them, hey, I have an allergy to this, or hey, I don't want this, and they can make modifications. Disney's good about doing that. So
that is true. Yeah. Anytime you go to a restaurant, if you let them know you can't like X on this because it's not just that I don't like it. It could kill me. They will generally do okay on that.
Yeah. Sometimes
they've only lost a handful of guests to that.
Sometimes
that's not true. That's not true.
Depending on the situation, like the chef will come out and talk to you too. So it just, Disney's good about it. Make sure you tell them ahead of time. Like you can do it when you check in on your app. It'll ask you if you have any allergies. But also once you sit down, make sure your server knows, and then you'll be fine. But I am very, very excited to try Space 220, and I'm just thrilled that we have a launch date now. And
launch window, because we still don't have a hard date when it's launching, and we haven't even seen a menu. We don't know what price points we're looking at. Do you think this is going to be a restaurant that is more you go for the gimmick, not so much the food, or do you think the gimmick and the food are going to live up to expectations?
Ooh. So I think it's a good question. Will it be more experiential, or is the food going to live up to it? Here's what I'm thinking, because in the Disney Parks blog, they do say that it's going to be upscale contemporary dining. And knowing this is a prefix menu, I have to guess this is going to be one of those $35 to $40 per adult kind of experiences at least, and that's without ordering wine. So, and they're going to have an extensive wine menu, so of course you're going to want to order wine.
I'm on board with that. I mean, hell yeah, sign me up. Set them up, country music.
Yeah. So, I was thinking I wondered if there might be some issues, just because one of the things that actually delayed the opening way back in 2019 was weeks before the restaurant was kind of set to open. The executive chef at the time, his name was Theo Schoenegger. I don't know. I can't say that name exactly right, but I think I'm saying it right. Kind of like Schwarzenegger, but Schoenegger.
You're ballparking it. It's fine.
He stepped down weeks before the restaurant was supposed to open because he ended up taking a job back in Las Vegas, and he left. So at that time, they looked to replace him, and they pulled in the current executive chef, and his name is Mark Couchet. I can't say any of these chefs' names.
All these chefs with their fancy names, like just be called Bob Thomas and fix us some fancy meals. Come on. So executive chef Bob Thomas is now on board.
Yeah. But then I think there were some issues with finishing the construction, and some other things went on, and it just kept getting pushed back. Plus COVID,
and also the world caught on fire. That might have something to do with it.
So you put all those things together, and it was like a recipe for let's delay this indefinitely. But to answer your question, I think they're definitely going for making, a menu that is part of the draw. Yes, it is going to be quite a interesting and unique experience to go there, but it does feel like they're going to try to be somewhat fancy with the food. That doesn't necessarily always mean good or to your taste, but I don't know. I think they're going to give it a shot anyway, and I'm just hoping... Personally, I'm hoping it's unique food, that it's not just this is stuff that you could have gotten if you went to...
It's a space cheeseburger with space ribs and space fries. Yeah.
Well, just kind of modern takes.
I would be surprised if they didn't have stuff like that on the menu for picky eaters. But even me being a picky eater, I do hope they kind of swing for the proverbial fences.
Yeah.
Because like this needs to match the restaurant that it's being served in, and this restaurant just happens to be quote unquote in space. So I mean, go nuts, like have fun with it.
Yeah.
I am really excited for this.
Me too. And I really hope that the desserts are fun, because that's, I feel like, an area you can really have some fun with, is the dessert options at the end. Like, you better, I'm telling you, if they don't include Tang or freeze-dried ice cream or some version of, like, they've got to be doing stuff with that kind of stuff. You're in space.
Gotta have Tang. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
There better be some Tang cocktails on the menu.
Ooh, I am on board with that. Little vodka and some Tang. Heck yeah. Like I will take 2 right now, Disney.
So.
And they speaking on astronaut ice cream, they have to have something like that on the dessert menu, like fancy astronaut ice cream or something.
I would just, even if it was like repurposed or it's like crumbled on top of something, you've got to incorporate.
I'm on board with that. I'm A-okay with that.
You got to. So, Space 220, I'm excited. Can't wait. Mid-September.
Yay.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Almost in time for my birthday, but not quite.
They figure that this is a big enough birthday for you, so you know they want to give you a little pregame before your birthday, obviously, right?
I guess so, but
post game rather. I just remember when your birthday was. Whoops!
It's okay. It's all right. I forget my birthday all the time.
I apologize. I'm into my 11th whiskey at this point.
Real quick, I did want to mention this. There was some news about Disney's very merriest after I can't even say it, and I've had no whiskey. Disney very merriest after hours party. I think they're trying to name these things in a way that causes you to feel tongue tied, because, well, is it really necessary?
Disney very merriest after hours.
You're better than me at speaking.
Yes, I got him.
Well, we knew that there were going to be special fireworks for this event, but what we found out this past week is there is going to be a parade. They are bringing back the very merriest parade. What is it called? It's called the Once Upon a something. Here it is.
Yes, it's called Once Upon a something. Yep.
Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade is coming back. Which, by the way, when we talked about this previously, I did say that, like, that parade is... That was part of the reason you wanted to go to the Very Merry Christmas Party, because that is an awesome parade. It's very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, killer parade.
Yeah. And I'm excited that that's making a comeback, because I'm hoping that that's paving the way for a nighttime parade to officially come back to the Magic Kingdom at some point. Please?
Seriously, like Disneyland, y'all don't want the Main Street Electrical one? We'll take it.
Yeah.
Heck, I myself, Landon Doan, will take it. I will run that thing through my condo complex nightly.
That would be really fun.
Oh, my HOA would love that.
Hey, it may. I mean, for some people, for the right audience, that's going to increase your property value. So.
I don't disagree. Do not disagree.
But yeah, that's good news, and it helps to soften the blow of the fact that this hard ticket event on peak nights is going to be almost $250 a person.
Oh, man.
Because I will say one thing I heard, the Boo Bash has started now, and early reviews are it's a little light on entertainment options. And so,
from everything that I've heard when it comes to the Boo Bash, yeah, you get your candy, but you need to treat this like it's an after-hours event at the parks where you can ride attractions with short lines.
Yeah.
You don't need to go into this thing thinking, all right, this is not so scary. We're going to get to see the parade. We're going to, I mean, the cadaver dans, they're there, but at the same time, it's like you can go take your pictures with characters in their, you know, Halloween get-ups, but it's those distance selfies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't regret getting tickets for me and my mom to go to the Boo Bash just because my mom is so excited for it, and she's never done Not So Scary, so she won't be able to compare X to Y. So she's just going to enjoy it regardless. But I think you need to go into it with that mindset. Yeah. Treat this just like you're going for an after-hours event, and you want to ride the rides. And, oh, by the way, there's just some Halloween stuff happening around you, maybe.
Yeah, so this Merriest Christmas party, very merry Christmas, whatever.
Very merry
very
after
merriest after hour, whatever they're calling it.
It's a terrible name, even if I am like 19 whiskeys in. So,
but they are. It is going to be much closer to what the very merry party was, but it's still not quite very merry, but it's a lot closer anyway. Like you can't. I don't think, like you said, you can't really compare Boo Bash to Not So Scary. But I think that these two are a little closer. But I mean, you're definitely paying for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
So.
$169 to $229 plus tax. So, you know, and if you are an AP holder and a DVC member, you can get, once again, this just so like insulting. You can get $10 off for select dates in November.
Wow.
Like at that point, really, again, but we talked about that when we talked about the Boo Bash. Yeah. But yes, this is a not insignificant chunk of change for 4 hours in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Disney, what are you doing with the prices? I mean, I just feel like you're pricing people out. People are still going to pay it. People are still going to pay it.
And getting on that, I had the sticker shock, put that into the Patreon Discord. Is like, holy crap. And then I even made the mention. It's like, well, I mean, if when I'm down in December for Steffer's wedding and they just happen to have one of them while I'm down there, I'm going to have a come to Jesus meeting with Landon, and seeing the dates, I'm going to have a come to Jesus meeting with Landon, because they have not one but two three, as a matter of fact, while I'm down there. But one of them's on Steffer's wedding, and she'd probably be pissed at me if I decided to go to Disney's very merriest after hours instead of, her wedding, since I'm in it. But
right. Mm-hmm.
But like Jay said, this is a step towards the after hours holiday parties we've had in the past. We get the parade back. You're going to get the Jingle Cruise coming back. The overlay, stuff like that. Not Haunted Mansion. So all you Nightmare Before Christmas fans, settle down before you get too excited. But 24 select nights, starts November 8th, ends December 21st, going from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Kind of dig those hours, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. And you can get in at 7 with your hard ticket.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're paying anywhere from $169 to $229. But if you can get in at 7 and you can last until 1 a.m., you're getting 6 hours in the park. Yes, that is expensive, but it is going to be with reduced crowds, with the Christmas stuff, and a parade too.
Yep, and the special fireworks, which they're not doing for Boo Bash.
Exactly, yeah.
But you are getting the very Minnie's Wonderful Christmas Time fireworks for the Christmas party. So,
honestly, I'm kind of surprised that special fireworks are returning here when they didn't come back with Boo Bash, because Disney saw that they can they can get away without having special fireworks.
It's true. But
so I guess good on Disney for giving us special fireworks.
I'll give them credit for that. At least they're doing the special fireworks. And it's another step back towards getting the full-fledged holiday parties.
Normalcy, as I like to say.
Normalcy, as they're supposed to be. So,
By the way, tickets go on sale August 20th, but if you are staying at a Disney Resort, Walt Disney World, Swan and Dolphin, as well as Shades of Green at Walt Disney World Resort, you will have an early ticket window August 17th, kind of like they did with Boo Bash. Yeah. So look forward to seeing stories of people being on hold for 9 hours. Starting August 17th and then again on the 20th.
It says on the article that we're using from wdwinfo.com, it says they can be purchased online or by calling the number.
Ooh.
Whereas the Boo Bash, you had to call.
Was strictly phone, yeah.
So...
Okay, all right. So maybe you won't see those stories of people that are still on hold trying to get Boo Bash tickets, because it could have gone so much smoother if they offered an online element to this.
But what they may do, similar to what they did for the Remy reservations for annual pass holders, they put you in like a virtual queue and you just have to wait your turn to get it. And that's kind of their way of trying to make sure they don't, the whole system doesn't go down because it's flooded by people trying to buy tickets all at once.
Oh, and I was mistaken. It's not up to $229. It's $249 for the last dates, December 19th and 21st. And buddy, the days that I'm down there are $209. I need for you to tell me that I can't do this.
Well, but you will get a $10 discount.
No, I won't.
Oh, well, never mind then.
They're in December, so yeah, I don't even get that condescending. Oh,
you're right.
Your discount.
You're right, because that's only for November dates. Okay, well, see, because you don't get the discount, you shouldn't do it. That $10 would have pushed you over the edge.
I kind of wanna.
You don't even like eggnog.
I don't. No, eggnog I think is overrated. You can have one cup and be fine until next year. Oh, but I kind of wanna.
Stay tuned. Will Landon attend the most merriest party of all time?
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
You know,
I gotta have a come to Jesus meeting. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You know who would really love it if you would purchase that ticket is Disney CEO Bob Chapek.
No, I bet he would. Bobby Chapek, like, yeah, Landon, give me more of your money, you stupid idiot. I'm like, yes, sir. May I please have another?
People like you are why he continues to join the earnings calls and let people know that Disney is still selling tickets and making money hand over fist.
Did you just blame me?
I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you.
Okay, fine. After this podcast and after 2 other podcasts, we are done just because of that.
I'm just trying to segue into the final news topic of the day, which was on Disney's most recent earnings call. Old Bobby Chaps shared some details about the upcoming Disney Genie app with the shareholders. And, you know, we've talked about Disney Genie before. We've kind of wildly speculated about what this experience is going to be like. I feel like we're zeroing in on it. And I think we, so far, have been pretty close into nailing what this is going to be. Because we've kind of almost called it like a Waze kind of a system for Disney parks where you say, I want to go here, I want to do this, and then it's like, this is the best route to do those things, and it kind of like uses crowdsourced information and Disney's data and all sorts of things to hopefully steer you in the direction of the least wait times and optimize your day, but also offer you some in-app purchases if you want it to be that much smoother.
So it's like My Disney Experience meets Waves meets every game on the iTunes store that has microtransactions.
Yeah. Essentially, it's going to be when you go to Walt Disney World sometime in the future, there's going to be a certain amount of pay-to-play in that if you decide to throw some money in, I think that it's going to make your day better, at least from the standpoint of maybe waiting less in line or, you know, getting some special access. And Bob Chapek didn't really say that wasn't true. I mean, here's basically what he said. He said, we've made significant investments in sophisticated technology and tools and created a revolutionary new multi-tiered service we're calling Disney Genie, as if they haven't said that before. We're very, very excited about the new service. We'll be providing additional details soon. The goal of the user-friendly app is to create a better, more personalized and customized experience for guests, putting them in control and providing even greater flexibility and choice. They will be able to spend less time waiting in line and figuring out what attractions and dining options are available and more time having fun. He went on to say, My Magic Plus was sticking our toe in the pond of this type of transformational work. Disney Genie is the program on steroids. This is going to revolutionize the experience. Guests are going to spend less time waiting and more time having fun in the parks with dramatically improved guest experience. That's going to make their navigation of their day and planning of their day much easier. Essentially, it's going to take the consumer preferences that we note from our consumers, given what we note from them, and blend that with basically industrial engineering data in terms of how the park is operating that day, meld them together to make suggestions on the fly that not only lead to improved guest experience, and here's the kicker, lead to substantial commercial opportunities for us as the guest navigates their day. This is why I'm saying that door for paid FastPass or whatever you want to call it is wide open.
Yeah, that last line definitely feels like they're kind of cracking the door, and here in a couple months, a year or so, just might be kicked off the hinges.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So before we started recording, I was starting to talk about this with you, Landon, and I said I wanted to save this thought because I think it's podcast worthy. When I've read about Disney Genie in the past, my reaction to it has been different than when I read it now. And I think it's really funny because I'm pretty sure it's only because these are Bob Chapek's words that I'm reading. And now it's like ticking me off. Like it's making me mad reading about it from him just because that's the source. That's who it's coming from. When I've previously heard about it, I was like, oh, it's going to be great. You know, you put your stuff in there. It's like, hey, go here, go do this. And it optimizes your day. That sounds awesome. But hearing those words from Bob Chapek, now I don't like it. I get that. I've changed my mind.
I get that. And I'm right there. Like, I'm not going to say I'm right there with you, but having the caveat of like, I'm going to go back to that quote, lead to substantial commercial opportunities for us, the Disney Corporation, as the guests navigate their days. That does once again raise my neck cockles, not in a good way either. I do like the idea of what the Disney Genie program is built upon. It's going to ask you what you and your party want to do. Like what is your fast pass? What is your standby snack break? Which, by the way, coming up in the next segment. So it can book your itinerary and it can guide you through the park so you can, in theory, get the most out of your ticket for that day. Because we all know Disney ain't cheap, not even a little. So if they have any sort of tool, especially an official Disney tool that can plug in with the real numbers, the real wait time, the real crowd numbers, if they can make anything better for you going throughout the park and making it easier and more enjoyable, I'm on board. But again, that line leads to more substantial commercial opportunities for us as the guest navigates their days. That is like some freemium stuff right there. That is literally every game in the iTunes store. Yeah, you can play it, but guess what? If you really want to enjoy it, you need to drop $5.99 for the premium power bonus pack.
Yeah.
You really want to enjoy it? Well, guess what? You need to get the ultimate power premium promo pack for $14.99, and it just keeps going and going and going. And unfortunately, I do think that paid FastPass, not only is it on the table, it is now fair game to discuss, because I unfortunately think this is just a matter of when, not if. Yeah. I would love to be wrong. If I turn out to be wrong, please, you, the lovely listener, clip that right there and send it to me. Rub it in my face, because you know what? If that happens, okay, yeah, I will wear that egg on my face, but that means that we don't have to pay for the fast passes. But I kind of feel like that is where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah, it really makes you... It makes the gears start to turn. It really makes you kind of wonder what the future of FastPass is going to look like. And we've been doing that since FastPass went away. Just kind of like wildly speculating about what it's going to look like.
From Speculation Station.
Yeah. When it comes back. I wonder if there's going to be some sort of a combo situation where if you're a Disney Resort guest, you still get your 3. But then, like, after that, then if you want to use additional, and I'm sure it's going to be based on park capacity, like how many guests are in the park that day, and then what the current wait times. Like, for example, if the wait's 90 minutes for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and you're on, like, a day where the park's at, like, a 7 or 8 or something, or whatever it may be, maybe that day you've got to pay. You can go ahead and say you want to do this, and we'll queue you up and let you know like when to come back later at a lower wait time. Or you could speed your access to this ride, click on this FastPass Plus, and you can go ahead and get in line for $20 a person.
Yep, and that, I think, option B is where it's going to end up being.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the freemium game analogy. Again, you can download the game for free. You can play the game for free. But at a certain point, it's going to ask you, do you want to get the most experience from this time? Well, guess what? Maybe throw a couple Disney dollary dues our way, and we'll make it worth your time.
Yeah.
And okay, like is a single single visitor to the park, okay, whatever. It's like, if I really want to get on, we'll use Seven Dwarves as an example. I don't know if I'm going to pay $15 for it, but at the same time, we'll use it for this argument. Okay, that's $15. Okay, that's a drink I can't buy at a bar that night. But for a party of 4, a family of 5, 6, that's almost $100 just to be able to ensure that little Susie and little Jimothy is going to be able to get on Seven Dwarves.
Right. I guess the question, though, if you're a parent, is, if you know that this is something that the kids, like, it's almost like a make or break. They want to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and it's going to ruin their day if they don't. What is that price point for you as a parent to make sure your kids are happy?
And Disney knows that a lot of parents are going to be like, it doesn't matter the price point. If little Jimothy will die if we don't get on Seven Dwarves, guess what? I will fork over 15, 20, 25 ahead to ensure that Jimothy gets to ride on Seven Dwarves.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like, even for the grown-up people that go down to Disney, what about Rise of the Resistance? I mean, a lot of people book their trips to Hollywood Studios specifically for Rise. And right now, every morning you get up at 7 o'clock, you roll those dice to see if you can get a boarding group. How much would you pay to guarantee, assuming it's running, if you can get your backside into one of those seats and rise against the Resistance?
Yep.
And Disney knows that.
Exactly.
Disney knows that.
Yes. Yeah, they know.
Oh, buddy.
One of the negative sides of doing a Disney podcast where we dive into the Disney news and really examine all this stuff and talk about it week after week after week is, over time, you start to see guest value decrease. And certain things like go from magic to
money,
cash grabs. Yep. And that sucks.
It really does. And yeah, that is something I've realized the longer we've done this. I mean, we're over 170 into it. I know this is only episode 168, but everything that we've done, like, we're probably closer to 200 episodes, and it's kind of depressing.
It gets a little bit that way. But
that said, like, just a couple minutes ago, you had to tell me not to spend $209 so I could go to the very Merriest happy thingamajig Christmas party.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to get at too. Is like, but the problem is we are like so in it. We love Disney so much. We love the park so much that right now we're still, we feel like, well, there's nothing we can do. We're still going to fork over this money because we want to do. But I will say, as a local, I'm not going to feel compelled to pay for a FastPass Plus. I don't think, unless I had somebody visiting and I was, wanting to do everything they were doing that day, and this was like something where we could assure that we had a shared experience on a ride, maybe I would consider it. But for the most part, that's really not going to factor into my day. I am totally happy hanging out in the parks, eating, drinking, relaxing, not really riding that much, because that's the life of a local. But for people coming in that don't get to come that often, that's the people that I'm thinking about right now. And I'm just like, God, like, how far can a standard family of 4 like stretch their dollar?
Because I mean, it isn't cheap to get into the park to begin with, and now we're talking about like premium.
Yeah.
Pricing. Okay. Yes. We will talk about the park across the street, so to speak. I mean, Universal, their Express Pass and Express Pass Unlimited, that's been going for a while. And for the most part, I mean, people might not like it, but they don't freak out about it. But I think Disney going from the free 3 fast passes, and then you can work that rolling forth to, okay, now guess what? You got to pay and possibly pay per Fast Pass, and you being a local, I totally get that. You just want to go and enjoy the ambiance. But for the family, this is their once every couple of years, or those people that are coming from the international side. This is their once in a decade, maybe once in a lifetime trip to Disney, and they want to do everything. And Disney knows that.
Yeah.
And Disney is going to milk
Squeeze.
that teat, so to speak.
Put the squeeze on. Yeah. They're going to do it, and if people are willing to pay, again, you don't, like you said, you don't have to. You won't have to spend the money for these fast passes, but they're definitely going to make it attractive for
but
people.
If you want to guarantee that little Jimothy gets to ride on Seven Dwarves, you're going to have to pony up.
Now,
you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is.
Again, they don't say in this article that that's what's happening.
Wildly speculation on our part, but we are just reading the tea leaves.
Yeah. I just feel like there's starting to be some real smoke here, and who knows what it's going to turn out to be. Who knows?
We would love for this smoke that we're seeing just to be from a fire that was put out that prevents this, but at the same time, there's been a whole lot of smoke about this over the last couple of weeks.
Yep. So I feel like we're headed towards something here, and whether it be some sort of a rolling forth that you have to pay for, or however this ends up working out. Something is happening, and I think we're going to find out real soon. So,
it's funny. I remember people back when we had the FastPass system we had before the world caught on fire. It's like, I really hate the way FastPass is now. It used to be, you just get to the park that day and you can figure out what you can get, and all these people can get theirs, 30, 60 days out. I think it's hilarious eventually. Unfortunately, I think we're going to get to the point where people are waxing nostalgia over the FastPass system.
Oh, sure.
That we had before COVID shut everything down.
Oh, yeah. 100% that's a fact. Everything was better in the before time.
The before time.
Yeah. Paper FastPass was better.
Mm-hmm. Jeez, I've made myself sad. This is a bummer.
Oh, well, cheer up, buddy, because we're done talking about sad stuff. We're going to have some fun now because segment 1 is over, which means it's time for me to toss you the keys for segment 2. So let's take a break. And when we come back, all smiles, happy times. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Monorail. It is now time for Landon to take over the show. Landon, it's all you, buddy. Do your thing.
Hachi machi, everybody. It is time for FastPass Standby Snack Break. Even after I step on Jay, because that's how excited I am to get to this week's snack break. Each week, we will have 3 items that are similar to each other. We're talking attractions, snacks, shows, etc. And then we're going to rank them. If you want to fast pass something, this is your top choice and something you definitely do not want to miss. If you want to stand by something, it's not your top choice, but it's still something you'd be willing to wait in line for. And if you want to snack break something, you might go grab a snack while your party does this, but you are cool, so you're going to watch the purses and or the bags. And this week, since Disney has kicked off the Halloween season in checks notes August, we are going to be talking about some spoopy and or scary attractions in the Walt Disney World Resort. We're talking ExtraTERRORestrial Alien Encounter, Haunted Mansion, and a Tower of Terror. We got a lot of answers, a lot of them saying this was the hardest one yet. Shout out to Tony the Disney Dad. Greatly appreciate you keeping the gimmick going. But we are going to head over to our Patreon Discord where our patrons are going to get their answers read. And Jay, I know normally you like to kick us off, but if it's okay with you, I would like to read the first response this week.
By all means, take it away.
Alrighty, coming from my favorite member of the Monorail family, it's Lewis. Come on, a dead attraction in this list? That is rough. Okay, Lewis, first of all, let me stop you. None of the attractions are actually living. They're made up of non-living things. They don't live. So guess what? Every list, every FastPass Standby Snack Break horn is made up of nothing but dead attractions. But thank you for your comments. FastPass, Tower of Terror. It's a great thrill ride with a great story, immaculate theming, and really, really creepy. The fact that the story is frozen in time at October 31st is perfect. The details around the queue and the exit area are pretty much perfection. Standby Alien Encounter. Probably not the case if it still existed, but I would love to go back into that room and be freaked out again. I only did this a few times, but it was a pretty awesomely intense parentheses. This is so old, I don't even have pictures of it. And he does include pictures in our Patreon Discord. And Snack Break Haunted Mansion. Seriously, this is a stacked list when one of my favorite attractions and Valpal Mickey's total favorite ends up at the bottom of the list. It's a lot more repeatable than Alien Encounter because I remember it as being mostly scared tactics. Haunted Mansion's visuals and spooky stuff need to be seen 100 times, and I have seen it far more times than that over the years. And thank you, Lewis, for those answers. And he does, like I say, include some pretty killer pictures, particularly the one of the ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Totally creepy from Tower of Terror.
Yeah, he's got some good ones. I can never get good pictures in any of these attractions. Well, of course not Alien Encounter anymore, but with the low lights, I've never figured out how to work a camera in low light situations. So good job, Lewis. Good pictures.
Yeah, appreciate it, buddy.
All right, this one from MK Tink. I've only been on one of these, but I'll give it my best shot. FastPass Haunted Mansion. No matter how many times I ride this, I always notice something I've never seen before. However, it's not a must ride for me. It gets the FastPass since it's the only one I've been on. Standby Tower of Terror.
Ride. Okay.
I know. Standby Tower of Terror. Haven't done this one because I get motion sick. Love the concept and would ride it if it was just a straight down drop. Not willing to risk getting sick with the up and down and ruin a day of my trip.
All right.
And then Snack Break Alien Encounter. Never done this one, but I'm not a fan of being scared, so I probably wouldn't like it. I'll tell you, MK Tink, since it was something I experienced as a preteen, it was pretty scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah, so
there's a reason why terror is in all caps in that name.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that when we get to our answers. But I think you and I, we're on the same wavelength there.
Yeah. So I agree. I mean, she probably would not have liked it. I was going to confirm that statement.
Yeah. Us three. Not fans of being scared. Next up is my favorite member of the Monorail family. It's Emily Penn. She is fast passing Haunted Mansion. It's one of my favorite rides and the only one of the three that I've done, but it's amazing. I don't disagree. I really want to see the holiday overlay sometime, but because we always go in October, isn't going to really do that. Also, that's more of a left coast thing. Standby Tower of Terror because I've waited in line. Then I always chicken out in all 12 trips I've done. Emily Penn, come on, baby. Come on. Next time you're down there, holler at me. I will travel down there. We will make it through on the Tower of Terror. I promise you will enjoy it. But back to her answer. It seems really fun, so maybe my next trip. Definitely. Come on, Emily Penn. You got to do it. You can do it. Snack Break Alien Encounter. Well, because I don't think I've done it, but from the videos I've seen, I don't think I would really enjoy it. So I'm going to go get some cheeseburger egg rolls and hold the bags because Emily Penn is cool enough to hold the bags. And also she already figured out her snack during the snack break. I appreciate it. Good job on you, Emily Penn. You truly are my favorite member of the Morning Monorail family.
Although the pizza ones are better.
Yeah, as somebody who is adverse to pickles, I would agree.
Now we've got Valpal Mickey. She says, okay, seriously, the Dawes. How in the world do I choose between three of my all-time favorite attractions? Only for us, she says.
Valpal Mickey, you are my favorite member of the Monorail family.
FastPass Haunted Mansion. It is my favorite attraction. It's the perfect example of the genius of Imagineers. They work together to create something unique and, in my opinion, detailed beyond any other attraction ever built. I could wax on for a long time, but I will save you my verbosity on the subject. I like the use of verbosity.
The word verbosity. Wow.
Yeah.
She really is my favorite member of the Monorail family.
Stand by. I will say Tower of Terror. I love this attraction for the detail as well, but I avoided it for many years because I was afraid it would set off my vertigo. I finally experienced it, and it scares me every time. I love it. And it does not bother my vertigo if I don't ride it more than 3 times in a row. That's funny.
Well,
it's
with
like
these weights, they're very spaced out. So
it's funny. It's like she found her breaking point. She was like, nope, 3's the number.
Yep. 3 was perfect. 4 is a bridge too far.
Snack break, alien encounter. I finally had to choose it for this category because it's no longer there. We've only experienced it a couple of times before it went away. It terrified my daughter and I for the first time. It was so much fun. I would love to experience it again. Stitch never came close to the greatness of Alien Encounter. Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing all Disney fans can agree to. Stitch kind of sucked. I mean, not kind of. I mean, I think he just did suck.
It wasn't good.
No, it was not good. And it's like this is coming from a Lilo and Stitch fan. So like you would think as big as Stitch is with their merchandising, they would have a better representation for him in the park. Maybe for a future FastPass Standby Snack Break conversation. I'm going to do 2 for 1 right here. First up, it is my favorite member of the Monorail family. It's Lexifer. Or, I'm assuming, Lexi. All she says, alien encounter against 2 behemoths, easiest one ever. Okay, well, we know what your snack break is. We don't know the other 2, but thank you for participating. But on to Tony, the Disney dad, my favorite member of the Monorail family. Oh, man, this is the hardest one yet. And yes, it is. FastPass Tower of Terror. I love this ride. From the queue to the pre-show to the theming to the actual ride mechanics. It's perfect. I also have great memories of my boys riding this for the very first time. Standby Haunted Mansion. It's a classic and fantastic, but what's the story? If you think about it too much, there's really not a coherent story. Bottom line is I would choose to ride Tower of Terror on every trip and may skip Haunted Mansion if the line's too long. And then finally, he is snack breaking Alien Encounter. I did this on my first trip to WDW in 2002. It was not enjoyable. End of review. Well, okay then.
All right. Tony, I have one piece of advice for you. If you need more insight into the story behind the Haunted Mansion, there's a film starring Eddie Murphy called Haunted Mansion, and you can watch that, and it may help you understand the story just a little bit.
Shrek, I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost, Shrek.
All right. Next, we've got Steamboat Kev. FastPass Haunted Mansion, a must-do for me. I first rode it when I was 8 years old. I last rode it when I was 50. I look forward to riding it when I'm 75, and I will be just as thrilled. Seems I always find something new no matter how many times I've been on. You don't need to scatter my ashes there, but I will certainly be haunting it. Look for me.
Love it.
He's going to be that.
Kev is my favorite member of the Monorail family.
He's going to be that magic number 1,000 ghost in the.
Congrats, buddy. Put in a good word for us. See if they won 1002.
Stand by. Tower of Terror. Top-notch theming, but I'm not big on elevator drops. Otherwise, this would be right up there for the FastPass. Great ride system. Love that it randomizes each time. And then snack break, Alien Encounter. Interesting concept for the space. My kids hyperventilated after getting off. I thought it could have been much better. Why does nothing survive in that space? Is it cursed? Ooh, that's a spooky question.
Ooh, spooky. That's another dead spot, which once again, Lewis, is not actually living, so it can't be a dead spot before you answer. Next up is my... By the way, I really liked Steamboat Kev's answer.
Yeah. He was great.
And also the image of his kids hyperventilating kind of cracked me up because apparently I'm a bad person. Next up is my favorite member of the Monorail family. It's Skipper Bob. Oh, boy. There is some choreography that is required of me. So maybe, Jay, do you want to read this one?
Yes. Okay. Let's see. I have to start off by stating that this was the hardest choice ever, which isn't so.
Kayfabe!
Followed by a threat that might get me in the penalty box. So Landon and Justin are my favorite members of the Monorail fam.
Okay. All right. That checks out. Yeah.
What else? Oh, yeah, the picks. FastPass. Haunted Mansion, behold the king of kings. On your knees, dog. The king grinned red as he walked from the place where the traitor lost both his name and his face. Through the halls and the corridors, stinging in blood, he tasted his grin, and it tasted good. They all hailed the king.
Oh, hail to the king.
Good doesn't rhyme with blood.
Hey, you know what? Lemmy from Motorhead wrote those lyrics, so you do not besmirch the work of Lemmy.
I'm just saying.
I am just saying.
Sorry.
I am just saying.
Stand by. Tower of Terror. It's time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control and if you can take it. All about your debt and if you can pay it. It's all about paying and who's going to make it. Come on over, sucker. Why don't you ask me? Don't you forget that the price you can pay, because I'm the game and I want to play.
I just sounded like an water elephant all over my kitchen table, so thank you, Skipper Bob. Even though it sounded like an elephant.
Landon spit water into the air. This, of course, is the music that is played every time Triple H comes to the ring. Yes. All right.
That's a joke for like 7 people, and I love that Skipper Bob has dedicated it so much. Bravo, Skipper Bob. You are my favorite member of the Monorail. But he has another answer, so get to it.
Should I have been singing? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would say yes, but I know you're quote-unquote singing, so maybe no.
Well, okay. Sync break. Extraterrestrial alien encounter. Evolution is a mystery, full of change.
No. Evolution is a mystery.
Evolution is an history. Full of change that no one sees. Clock makes a fool of history. Yesterday's too long ago. Don't agree with what I know. Tomorrow is the place to be. I see the line in the sand. Time to find out who I am. Looking back to see where I stand. Are we going to get a copyright strike because I'm reading lyrics?
If we do, it will be the most cool, badass copyright strike of all time. Because you just read 3 Triple H songs, and that's awesome. Thank you, Skipper Bob. Well, yeah, that was pretty awesome. As a wrestling fan, I appreciate that. Go check out Skipper Bob on his YouTube and his podcast as well.
Cretan's Guild.
There it is. Yeah, I was thinking. Next up is my favorite member of the Monorail family. It's Amanda Jackson. FastPass, Haunted Mansion. It's a must-do on any trip. I will say I was a horrible mom on my trip with my then 4-year-old daughter. I made her ride it, and she freaked out. I'll post PhotoPass pictures. Stand by, Tower of Terror. I love that you don't know how many drops you're going to get, and by default, my snack break is Alien Encounter. I don't remember if I've done this or not, but it doesn't matter if you've remembered if you've done this or not, Amanda Jackson, because I love the PhotoPass picture you posted of your 4-year-old daughter freaking the geek, not having any of it on Haunted Mansion. That is hilarious. Also, I really hope she's okay.
Pretty sure that's how I rode Haunted Mansion the first few times when I was a kid. So I mean,
I stayed off of it until I was a full blown adult because it's Haunted Mansion. That seems scary, and then I read it's like, oh, this is fun. This is whimsical. This is cheeky. But yes, as a 4-year-old, I probably would have lost my mind.
Yep. So. Oh yeah. Now we move on to everyone's favorite member of the Monorail family. He even has the shirt to prove it. It's Kevin.
He sure does.
Kevin says, FastPass, easily Haunted Mansion. When I was younger, I would have to close my eyes during this, but now I'm a little bit older. I enjoy how interactive the experience is, plus a photo opportunity. Never waste a photo op. That's what I say.
I just never know where to look, particularly on that one.
It is a little hard to get, but once you get it, you can get some good pictures on Haunted Mansion.
Like, I have tons of pictures of me literally just staring at the roof on Haunted Mansion. It's like Landon is really into whatever is happening on the roof.
Stand by. I don't remember ever doing or hearing much about Alien Encounter. Parentheses. That does sound like a great title describing all the guys that hit me up on dating apps.
Oh, got him, Kevin. Good job.
I'm assuming it was similar to Stitch, which I don't think I've ever been on, but would try it at least once. And then snack break. You couldn't pay me enough to go on Tower of Terror. I don't know if it would make me vomit. Yep. Yeah, all 3. Okay. Again, I don't want to edit so much, so I'm going to edit myself. But yes, Kevin, it might make you do all 3, but come on. One time. Do it.
Tower of Terror is
once.
good. It's good. And if you vomit, poop, and fart yourself, it's fine. It's fine. That's what Jay wouldn't say because he doesn't want to edit himself. Also, I don't think that's a swear word. Anyway, next up is my favorite member of the Monorail family. It's Theme Park Rob, everybody. FastPass Tower of Terror. Really? With a couple question marks. Even when you know the drop is coming, it still scares the screams out of you, and my family agrees. Standby Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter. We only experienced this once, and that was pure luck because this attraction was in an on-again, off-again phase of its life. I did have some startling moments, what I remembered of it. The disorienting nature in the dark moments helped to make this an attraction I wish I could have experienced a few more times. And Snack Break Haunted Mansion. This one doesn't really scare me, and I'm not sure that it ever really did. But staying in the family style response for today, Theme Park's wifey still gets startled sometimes in the graveyard. I'm right there with the wifey. I know they're coming. They're hiding behind the tombstone. Then boo! It's like, oh God, jeez, you stupid spooks. Who would have ever guessed that Haunted Mansion would ever end up as a snack break? I'm kind of like his last comment kind of took the words out of my mouth. Haunted Mansion is a snack break. I mean, I guess I had to know that was a possibility, me listing it, but wow.
Never. I don't think I would have predicted it.
Yeah, never thought we would see that, but here we are. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Okay, that wraps up our responses in the Discord. So I think it's time to hop over. There was some more conversation there, but I don't think those are responses.
As there is, speaking of, oh wow, some conversation of the TVA. So if you really want to get your Owen Wilson fix, go watch Loki on Disney+. Great show.
Very, very good. Mm-hmm. So now we can hop over to the Morning Monorail Family Facebook group because we did get some responses over there. And I'm going to start with our friend Caleb, who says, obviously, we are going to... Who is we? You got a mouse in your pocket, Caleb? We are going to fast pass Haunted Mansion because it's accessible for the whole family and has so many things going on. It's great for rewritability. Bit of a shocker, but I'm going to stand by Alien Encounter because it was truly terrifying to me as a teenager and was a unique experience in the park. It's also insane this ever existed in the Magic Kingdom. Finally, I'll snack break Tower of Terror because it terrifies me, and now I've heard they no longer have a lap bar, but only a seatbelt. Did they ever have a lap bar?
I don't remember a lap bar. I just remember the seatbelt, left to right, clickety-clack, and you're good to go.
I mean, I guess I've done it so many times in the recent history of my trips to the parks. I just don't remember there being a lap bar. Maybe there was initially, but yeah, it's definitely a seatbelt now. And it's fine. You'll be fine, Caleb. You can do it.
Yeah, come on, Caleb. You can do it. I believe in you. But I also believe in my favorite member of the monorail. It's Jennifer. Oh, wow. I have never done one of these. FastPass, the Haunted Mansion. I cannot get enough of this ride. It is my ultimate favorite. Standby would be the Hollywood Tower of Terror. I don't like heights and dropping. Not drop-ins. I have rode this once. It was funny. The time that I rode this, there were two girls in the front row in front of me. And at the end of the ride, I hear one of them turn to the other. And she says to her friend, "You bit me. I have teeth marks to prove it." That was memorable. I would have definitely remembered that as well. Alien Encounter is her snack break. Did I mention that I don't like scary rides / movies? I have never rode this when it was operating. By the way, go Vols! Go Vols!
The funny thing about someone biting a friend is you probably could have gotten away with it in Alien Encounter and said that it was part of the ride.
That is true. In total darkness, too. Just reach over, grab somebody's arm, and go a chomping.
Yeah, go a chomping.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, we've got Keenan Meadows, our friend from Part of Our World podcast. He says, FastPass, Haunted Mansion. It's the best ride in Magic Kingdom, if not all of Walt Disney World. Such an immersive experience, the pinnacle of what a dark ride should be. Also has the best holding pen stretching room. Standby, Tower of Terror. Again, top-notch theming from lobby to the drop. Also, bonus points for being a thrill ride. Awesome effects throughout, and it has the second best holding pin.
Holding pen.
We're all a bunch of horses. Snack break, extraterrestrial alien encounter. I actually enjoyed this back in the day and thankfully never saw the Stitch Abomination, but this attraction just never felt Disney to me. It would have been a great experience at Universal, or perhaps even Hollywood Studios, but not Magic Kingdom. Cool effects, though, and deserved better than what it got.
Don't disagree with anything he said, but yeah, we can get into that with our answers. Next up is Jen, who is in the penalty box. And finally is Natalie, my favorite member of the Monorail family. I am contractually obligated to answer this on Friday the 13th. So appropriate since we're talking about spooky attractions. Love it. FastPass Tower of Terror. I just love this one. One trip, my whole party befriended a group on the cast members working Tower of Terror because we kept going on it over and over and over again. That's awesome. Standby Alien Encounter. Though Stitch's warm burps are not nightmare fuel to this day, or are nightmare fuel to this day. I'm really good at reading. I don't know if I would have been that spooked by an animatronic alien putting this as a standby because I kind of wish I could go on it as I was too little when it was around, and snack breaking Haunted Mansion. Obligatory reference to there being a difference at Disneyland with elevator, Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, and hatchback ghost. Haunted Mansion spent the last few years on my bad side due to the death references hitting a little too close to home. I will ride it now, but only if all the stars align for a short trip, to be honest. I recognize that this ranking may make me the 1,000th member of the penalty box, though. Natalie, no. That will not get you into the penalty box. I appreciate your honest answer. The trolling from some other people, that's what landed them into the penalty box. But Natalie, no. You are skating safe away from the penalty box. Thank you for your answers. Well thought out as they were. And once again, you are my favorite member of the Monorail family.
I love how you demanded Jen expand on her answers, and she just stood by the fact that she was not going to give you any more, and that ended up putting her in the penalty box.
Exactly. Natalie, that is what will put you in the penalty box. Being Jen is what will put you in the penalty box. Jen.
Just being Jen. She may be the one that gets stuck in the penalty box for the rest of time. We'll see.
Yeah, you need to put underneath where I said you need to let people out of the penalty box, leave Jen in the penalty box.
It'll be her permanent residence. But no, Natalie, you're not going to. You can put these things wherever you want to, and that except the only exception to that was when people were putting the monorail as a snack break, and that put them in the penalty box. But that kind of just goes with the territory around here. But I think we should share our answers. How about you?
Okay, fine.
Why don't you go first? I always go first. You go first this time.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're breaking with tradition on this one. I like that. I'm gonna go bottom to top, as I always do. We're not breaking that tradition. Snack break. Look at me. I just totally tripped myself up. Snack breaking. It's Alien Encounter. We talked about it on the Disney Deep Dive with the Dawes about this particular attraction. This thing scared the bejesus out of me. And I was a relatively, young adult at that point. I wasn't like a 7-year-old kid that just got caught off guard. I was an adult that got caught off guard because I was not expecting to be terrified like I was. The breathing on the back of the neck, the quote unquote blood dripping on you, everything around the stage hands getting murdered and stuff, and then the actual animatronic itself. I can definitely appreciate it now. If I had the opportunity to ride it again, I think I would, just knowing what I'm getting into. But going into it cold, I had no idea this was a scary attraction. And it freaked the geek out of me. I don't remember off the top of my head which one of our commenters said that their kid was hyperventilating coming out of it. I was borderline there myself. Terrified me. That said, I would still like to give it another shot. And I do think if this was in another Disney park, it still might be alive, especially with what Michael Eisner wanted to do. He originally pitched this as an alien attraction, not just a random alien from the movie Alien. And if you told me that a xenomorph was going to be teleported into a pod and then break out and drop acid and do xenomorph stuff, I would sign up for that still to this day, knowing that I would be scared. But in the Magic Kingdom, particularly in Fantasyland, I mean, like, can be a hard sell, and I understand why it went away. My snack break is going to be Tower of Terror. I love this ride. I still think, okay, other than Rise of the Resistance, this is the key attraction that you must ride when you go to Hollywood Studio. More so than Slinky, more so than Rock and Roller Coaster, more so than the Millennium Falcon. Tower of Terror is iconic Disney for me. I love everything about this ride. I love the story it tells. I love the theming in the queue, the theming once you get into the building, the pre-show, even as somebody, the holding pins, because apparently we're all sheep. And as our credit card receipts have proven, we really are all sheep. So that's neat. I love everything about this ride. And on top of that, with the new iterations, it's randomized. So no one ride is like the ride you were on last time. So I am thumbs up for that. I am kind of worried what they're going to do if CBS or Paramount does come calling for the Twilight Zone trademark. Maybe they can do something. I mean, clearly they're still going to have the attraction, but I am curious what they will do without the Twilight Zone IP, because, okay, yeah, once you get on the ride, you can mess some stuff around and still get away with it. But that pre-show, that is strictly a Twilight Zone type thing. And then FastPass Haunted Mansion. It's my favorite attraction in all of Walt Disney World. Even though, like I said previously, it is something that me being a big stupid wiener, I was scared of growing up, and even until I was an adult. I love the Haunted Mansion, the campy fun of it. Every set scene that you see, whether it be the clock hand in the background going across, the doors trying to push open, the dude trying to get out of the coffin, and then when you go into the attic and then you fall backwards. By the way, there's totally a story. You just need to kind of pay attention because Hatchet kills y'all. And then you go into the graveyard and you see all the happy haunts. And I mean, Grim Grinning Ghost is probably the best Disney song, just flat out, period. So, and some would say this is a negative. It does get stopped sometime, but if you get stopped right in front of the busts of Thurl Ravenscroft and the rest of the crew, like I've done a couple times, it's just so nice to sit and listen to Grim Grinning Ghosts and those busts, quote unquote, sing to you. So Haunted Mansion, number one with a bullet for me.
Yeah. Very good. Thorough, sound reasoning. It's hard for me to argue with anything that you said.
Would you say Thurls?
Thorough.
Sound reasoning.
Thorough. Although that is how my mom says thorough. She says thorough. So it works. I will say I go top to bottom because that's how I do. For me, I'm saying FastPass. It's Haunted Mansion.
Okay. All right.
Haunted Mansion is my favorite attraction in the Magic Kingdom. Not in all of Walt Disney World, but it is my favorite attraction in the Magic Kingdom. And for all the things you said, for all the things that so many people said, it's the theming, the iconic song, the amazing voice acting that you get throughout the ride. I just think it has set the bar and has never been surpassed for the ultimate dark ride. And I just think that's how it is. Sure, are the tricks parlor tricks that have been used for 100 years? Absolutely. Do they still work? Absolutely.
Yep.
So I don't know.
That scene in the ballroom with the Pepper's ghost trick on the so great.
Yeah. It's all amazing. And all they have to do is like slight touch-ups here and there, and it keeps it relevant, keeps it fresh. We'll probably not ever get the Haunted Mansion holiday here in Walt Disney World, but I would like to see that at Disneyland at some point. But it is like just head and shoulders above most experiences that you're going to get on a Disney attraction, aside from some maybe fresh faces over in Hollywood Studios. But yeah, it's up there. And for Magic Kingdom, it is my favorite attraction. And then we move on to a Standby, which I have debated back and forth in my head the whole time that we've been talking about this, leading up to this recording. But I think that I have to say it's Tower of Terror, because Tower of Terror, for the longest time, until Rise of the Resistance came in and said, hold my beer, it was my favorite attraction in Hollywood Studios for years and years and years. And I think that there are times that sometimes I might say it's my favorite attraction in all of Walt Disney World, but I think that now I've kind of definitely the metronome, the pendulum has gone back to Haunted Mansion. And I think it's going to be staying there. It's in terms of spooky attractions. I would take Haunted Mansion just all day, every day. And I do think eventually the Tower of Terror is going to get rethemed. I hope that it's a worthy successor to what we have, because this is certainly, the Twilight Zone has certainly been I want to say, I didn't want to say trendsetter, but like maybe what I mean to say is like a solid anchor for that park for
1000%, yes,
for so long that I would hate to see it go downhill. And then lastly, that leaves me with Snack Break. And it's going to be Extraterrorrestrial Alien Encounter. And it's not because I didn't like it. It's because something's got to go there. And I think if I were given the choice of the three, like, no, wait, you can go do this right now, it would be my third choice between the three. But I did actually really love this attraction. And I'm going to say, going back to what Keenan said, it didn't feel very Disney. It felt extremely Disney to me, because the pre-show, I will tell you to this day, I think that the two rooms of the pre-show for Extraterrorrestrial Alien Encounter were probably, in my mind, my favorite pre-show that Disney has ever had on an attraction. And you had really cool animatronics, voiced by Tim Curry. You had a cute little alien that got zapped and eventually, eventually disintegrated.
Barbecued. Yeah.
But like it just set up the anticipation of the ride so well, and it had elements of like the Timekeeper with the Robin Williams animatronic, the robot in there. Like Sir was similar to that in my mind, the Tim Curry robot. But it fit perfectly in Tomorrowland, in my opinion. The whole idea was you were going into the Galactic Convention Center and they were going to be displaying this new technology. Like, it fit Tomorrowland. It fit the theme of Tomorrowland at the time. Was it maybe more scary than what people want in the Magic Kingdom? Yes, I will agree with that. But also, like, I don't know. Like, I think it worked better than Stitch.
Well, clearly, yes, because Stitch got shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah. This thing left an impression on you, whether you liked it or not. Like, you came out of it, and you would not forget the experience you had in Extraterrorrestrial Alien Encounter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know, I think
Natalie,
wasn't Natalie saying she doesn't think it sounds very scary? She doesn't think she'd be spooked by an animatronic alien? Listen, seeing the alien in the tube was the least scary part of that experience.
It's what you didn't see in that attraction that scared you, terrified you. And it's like, I'll be honest, like, I've kind of come around to this attraction, and I do kind of wish that I could experience it again, because that initial experience flat out terrified me. And that's, by the way, I know I said Fantasyland earlier. It was clearly Tomorrowland. Come and get me, Disney nerds. But that is an experience that is, I guess rather was so unique to everything across the Disney property.
Yeah.
Part of me is kind of sad that it's no longer with us.
Yeah. And that's my thing too. Like, I don't want every Disney attraction to be exactly the same. And it's nice to have that option of having something that's a little scary or a little more intense in a Disney park.
And by the way, we all know the scariest attraction at Disney was always Snow White. So,
absolutely. Yeah, nothing's going to pass Snow White. So, anyway, I do miss it. I snack break it only because I have to, but I would easily, like if they decided, oh, you know what, we don't know what to do with that space. We're just putting ExtraTERROrestrial back in there. I'd be in line for it like every time I went to Magic Kingdom. I'd love to do it again.
I'd be right there with you, even though it terrified me. I would really like to experience it again.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. And this was I'm going to say, I'm a little bit surprised because when you posted this particular FastPass standby snack break, I thought that it might be unanimous that ExtraTERROrestrial would be snack break across the board, but people surprised me.
Yeah, I was right there with you when I posted. It's like, okay, here we go. I already know what third place is going to take, but no, not so much. There were some people that kind of surprised me. The Haunted Mansion in third place. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
That is questionable. But
I mean, it's not penalty box worthy, but at the same time, you better check yourself lest you wreck yourself.
I always forget George Lucas was involved in Alien Encounter.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think it's Defunct Land on YouTube. They have a really great video about the history of ExtraTERROrestrial. If y'all are fans of that attraction or just kind of vaguely interested, go check it out. There is a ton of a backstory to that ride. Again, I already talked about how it was originally supposed to, or rather Michael Eisner wanted it to be tied into the Aliens movie franchise, and that fell through. But at the same time, that is such an interesting video. Go check it out.
Hey, now that Disney has the rights to the 20th Century Fox film,
they could make it happen.
They could make it. Yeah, they could actually do it and make it Alien now. Put that in Hollywood studios.
Oh, hell yeah. Sign me up. They accidentally teleport an alien queen into the middle of an arena or something. I am there for it. Could you imagine the animatronic they would make for that?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And where are we going to put it? We're going to put it on right smack dab where the middle of where Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular is today, because I mean,
who knows when that's coming back, if it's coming back. But hey, you know what? It's better than them replacing Muppets 3D with it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not giving up Muppets 3D.
No. Like me, you, and 3 other people will chain ourselves together. Adam's right there. Yep, we will make a chain of losers to to protect Muppets 3D.
Hashtag save the Muppets.
Hashtag save the Muppets. No, that was fun.
It was fun. I always enjoy your FastPass standby snack breaks, and you did another fine job, sir.
Well, I appreciate them too, but I also more appreciate the response we get, the interaction from you, the lovely listener, because it's like y'all are part of the reason I enjoy doing this. And every week, or I guess every 2 weeks at this point, I'm always surprised, and I love reading your answers. Sometimes poorly, but I still try. So thank you for weighing in. And you know what? We're going to have at least one more FastPass standby snack break under the morning monorail moniker. A lot of M's there, but hopefully it will continue into the next iteration of whatever this podcast is.
Hey, speaking of that, it's time for us to do some plugs. And while we're at it, while you're mentioning where you're at on the internet, you should probably mention, whether, if you're ready to, that you've picked a name for your show. So,
I mean, I have picked a name for my new show, but do we want to save it for episode 170?
Well, we could save it.
No, I'll just go ahead and say it. It's Dawes Does Disney. Dawes Does Disney, everybody.
Woo!
I mean, anytime I'm in the parks, it is hashtag Dawes Does Disney. So why not bring this to the airwaves, to the interwebs, to your earballs? It is Dawes Does Disney.
Yes. I love that you're keeping that. I mean, I think it works well. You've got the Instagram for it, and you know ladies love literation.
Oh, absolutely. Ladies love literation. I got that 3D going on that.
So that's exciting. I think that's a good name. I mean, maybe that was like what the obvious choice was from the beginning, but
I mean, like thinking back on it, it's like I really racked my brain, and the most obvious choice was literally right there.
Yeah,
it was right there.
It is.
Ron, we've been here the entire time.
You got to go through the process, and so you did. It's kind of like this whole fiasco that happened on Jeopardy. You let 25 guest hosts come on just to pick an executive producer to be the next Alex Trebek. That makes a lot of sense.
No. Do not lump me in with that, Martian. That's a terrible decision, and I will not be associated with that at all.
It was very
given to LeVar Burton.
Yeah. I'll be honest, out of all the Jeopardy guest hosts, he was not my favorite. He was good, but he wasn't my favorite.
Who was your favorite then?
I actually thought Joe Buck did a great job.
Joe Buck, people hated Joe Buck.
I loved Joe Buck. I thought he did really, really well.
Wow. Wow.
Least favorite, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, what? No, I thought Rodgers was hilarious.
I did not. He was too stiff. I don't know. He didn't feel like a host. And that was the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of the people they brought in, people like Anderson Cooper, people like Katie Couric. It's all people who have been like hosting shows forever, so they know how to do it, So, of course, they were good. They were solid. Like, I thought Anderson Cooper did a good job. But I don't know. There was something about Joe Buck. And maybe it was because he was the most recent. But I thought he did good. So, Maya Bialik. By the way, Maya Bialik did good. And she will be hosting, like, some primetime episodes, I guess, and then a spinoff series. Which,
glad that she's going to continue on, because I did think she did good as well.
Yeah. And they might as well give Matt Amodio a hosting job, because he's never going to leave, because he won't stop winning. So I think he's up to 18 straight days now. So
okay, he can have the job of the executive producer, because that is some nepotism bullish right there. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we're going to have all these celebrities come in and try out, quote unquote. Oh, look at that! I guess I'm the best.
This was Dwight Schrute, Hey King level, like. Just purely for show, and then it was all a facade. It was all a fiasco just to name yourself the Hey King.
Shut up, nerd. If I ever see you, I will give you a wedgie and take your lunch money. And also, by the way, he has some stuff in his background.
I know that's interesting. I don't know. I've tried to read into that, because I don't want to stop watching Jeopardy, and I'm hoping that, because I will say this, Drew Carey has come out in total support of this guy, and I trust Drew Carey. So
of course he would. That Bob Barker job stealing so-and-so.
He didn't steal it.
No, he totally did.
Bob Barker was done. And Drew Carey has been solid on Price is Right. I love Drew.
He's fine.
I love Drew. So anyways, that's all.
Hashtag justice for LeVar.
That'll be all for game show talk.
Wait, no, that's Tonight Show. Never mind.
I guess I'll proceed with our plugs, even though at some point some of these things will be going away. Right now, we're still Morning Monorail on Twitter. We're Morning Monorail on Instagram. One thing that won't be going away is the Morning Monorail family on Facebook. That will remain, so you can join there, be part of the fam for the foreseeable future. And we'll probably keep the YouTube up, too, because at some point I may do some YouTube stuff, too. So Morning Monorail on YouTube. But otherwise, hang out with us. Enjoy these last couple episodes. And like I said, if you've got any, you want to send an audio clip or send some well wishes or whatever it may be that we will share on the final episode coming up in 2 weeks, please do so by the 25th. You've still got a little less than 2 weeks, but send those to mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. Landon, over to you.
Oh, yeah. L-A-N-D-U-Z. Please go follow me. Landon Doan. I'm the best. Landon Doan, not the rest. That's where you can follow me. 280 characters at a time on Twitter. I also appear on The Phil Show, News Talk 98.7 WOKI radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available in the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. And if you're listening this morning that it drops, August the 16th, I am hosting the Phil Show from 9 to 10. Nice. So fire up your web browser, listen, call in 656-8255, 656-TALK, or 1-800-951-8255. That's a toll-free number, and interact with me. Tell me you're a member of the Monorail family, and you know what? By God, I will put you on because I literally have no idea what I'm going to talk about, and it's going to be neat.
Don't listeners get mad when you talk about Disney stuff?
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I literally do not care. Dude, I get death threats for telling people to get vaccinated and wearing masks. So what the listeners think does not matter to me. So,
well, what you all think matters to us, and that's because you are members of the Monorail family, and we love you all. As we wrap up today, we will remind you once again, why don't you thank a cast member?
Thank a cast member!
And also, be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Party on, dudes. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for riding with us today. You can find us on the socials at Morning Monorail. The website is morningmonorail.com, and the email is mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. You can also call our voicemail 407-917-2144. Thank you so much for being part of the Monorail family. We'll see you next time.